Okay, thank you, sir. A very pleasant evening to all distinguished panelists and participants. Bharati Vidyapeeth's Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVI CAM, in association with Computational Intelligence Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Computer Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Technology and Engineering Management Society, TEMS chapter of IEEE Delhi section, System Man and Cybernetics SMC Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Communication Society of IEEE Delhi section, Consultants Network Affinity CNA Group of IEEE Delhi section, Life Member Affinity LMA Group of IEEE Delhi section, Inter-Society Relations IRS Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi section, Industry Relations and Special Interest Group on Humanitarian Technology Site Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi section, Region 10 of IEEE with the Associations of Computer Society of India, CSI, Institute of Information Technology Professionals, IITP, ISTE Delhi section, and IETE Delhi Center as technical collaborators. Welcome you all to the IEEE IETE BVI CAM technical lecture series on potential use cases of private 5G. According to Tom Wheeler, FCC chairperson, if we have learned anything in the generational march through wireless connectivity, it is that we have always underestimated the innovation that will result from new generation of wireless networks. The immutable law of network history will again repeat itself as the 5G network spawns transformational secondary effects. This quote reflects the potential of 5G. 5G provides benefits like low latency, high bandwidth, and options for internet working with IoT, etc. Another important aspect of 5G is to enable the vertical industries and thus provide variety of use cases. In this session today, the, our experts will discuss the importance of private 5G and some of its potential use cases in different industries, including its all-round technological perspective. I would first take this opportunity to welcome amongst us our distinguished panelists for the day. We are privileged to have amongst us a galaxy of experts. I will first request Professor Emin Huda sir, Director, Bharati Vidyapeeth's Institute of Computer Applications and Management BVI CAM and Chairperson IEEE Delhi section to address the participants with his inspiring words.
Good evening, one and all. And at the outset, let me welcome my two valued speakers today, Mr. Ritesh Agarwal, co-founder and CEO of TechForces, and Mr. Kapil Tyagi, Vice President Engineering TechForces Private Limited, for 163rd webinar of the IEEE IETE BVI CAM weekly evening technical lecture series on potential use cases of private 5G. Dear friends, this particular session is important from the point of view that private 5G, we have been talking about public environment, we have been talking about environment which is available publicly for everyone through cloud, but now the same technology is enabling us to have a kind of private environment for which today's sessions has been planned. Dear friends, many of you are aware that this webinar series, which is continuing since last more than 4 years now, in the backdrop of COVID-19, June 2020, we started this, and since then, every week, evening 6 to 7, we are continuing this. Last year in 2024, June, IEEE headquarter invited proposal from all over the world that knowledge dissemination sessions, which were started during the COVID background, almost everywhere it was started in entire world. They send us detail that how many participants so far have been and what is the modalities and other structure of those series. We have submitted our proposal to IEEE headquarter, and all of you will be happy to note that the IEEE US adjudicated our series as one of the best, most sustainable series in the world. There is no series in the world which was started in the backdrop of the COVID, at least 50,000 plus such series were started across the world, but there is no series which is continuing since the start, and our series is continued, and for which they sent a big plaque, big memento, and an appreciation letter to me. And that is because of the participants, because of the speakers, and because of my friends who from different parts of the country, and speakers from top-notch industries, and almost all trending topics we have covered. I just saw that one of my participant is writing in the chat window that conduct a next webinar on digital twins. Mr. Ajay, you might be remembering we had this session twice. Because first digital twin webinar was so much in demand that we repeated that after almost 6 months. But again, it has been 2 years conducting on that topic. So nobody, dear friends, we will be conducting again on digital twin, and soon, maybe in March or April, our next session will be on digital twin. Meanwhile, I also request my participants that on whichever topic you wanted that we should conduct a session, you keep on writing in the chat window. My team member, Dr. Ritika, will take note of that, and we will ensure that within 3 months we come up with a session on the topic which you request with us. So keep suggesting your topics, whichever you wanted to do that. Dear friends, this webinar or this lecture series is a very unique example that multiple professional organizations, in fact, all premier professional organizations which have their presence in the country are part of this webinar. IEEE, one of the largest professional organization of the world, is of course presenting you this webinar. The IET, Institution of Electronics and Telecom Engineers, the CSI, the IST, and IITP, and all offsprings of IEEE and offsprings of other professional organizations along with Bharati Vidyapeeth. Together we are presenting this. And for this topic, who could be better than today's two speakers, Mr. Ritesh Agarwal and Mr. Kapil Tyagi, who delve on this subject. So thank you so much, because we have two speakers who will be interacting and discussing the trend in 5G. With the help of the use cases. So I will not speak much, but request you all that many other forthcoming webinars on very, very niche topics about which me and Ajay was talking has already been notified on the website. So if you have not registered so far, please go and do register for that. Second, whenever, if you are not connected with any of our WhatsApp group, please get connected to any of the WhatsApp group. You can DM me on my mobile number, WhatsApp, or you can go to our mail ID and drop us a mail with your mobile number, WhatsApp number. I will connect it to you. Third, that we are, since then we are maintaining a YouTube channel, BVICAM YouTube channel, on which all these sessions are available. And these sessions are so useful that if you somehow or other miss any part of this session, or you later come to know that some of your friends, some of your colleagues have missed it, so do pass on this link to them so that the maximum benefit of these sessions can be taken by those who want it. And thank you so much. Wish you all the best. God bless you all. With this note, कि यही है जुनून मेरा, यही है शौक मेरा, यही है जुनून मेरा, यही है शौक मेरा, चिराग वहां जला दें जहां है अंधेरा। तो आप वो सारे टॉपिक हमें सजेस्ट करते रहें जिन पे रोशनी डालनी है और जिन रोशनी के तहत हमें चिराग जलाना है। हम और अजय, मेरे लिए वन ऑफ द स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट पिलर इन कंडक्टिंग दीज वेबिनार इज मिस्टर अजय। मुझे सिर्फ अजय जी को बताना होता है कि ये 4 टॉपिक पे मुझे अगले 2 महीने के सेशंस ऑर्गेनाइज करने हैं, and he will find a speaker from top-notch industry based from his network, and will request आगे मेरी टीम को execute करना होता है. It is such a strong pillar for this webinar series. So thank you so much. You keep on suggesting topics. We will go ahead, and soon within 3 months we'll present you topic on this. There are many topics which are pending at my end, which I have not scheduled so far because for one or other reason I had been quite occupied since last 4 or 5 months. So soon, in addition to what we have already notified around 3-4 webinars, you will see around 3-4 more webinars maybe within a week being notified. So keep connected to our website, keep connected with us. And now I think a better news is coming, but otherwise since last 1.5 months, very disappointing news was coming from China and other parts of the world that again the virus is coming and again it may derail entire process. So whatever happens is all a different game, but be sure that despite disruptions, keep learning and keep connected and stay safe, stay healthy, stay vibrant, and keep spreading our message and keep connecting your friends with our invited talk and these lectures. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Over to you, Dr. Ritika.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your motivating words. I shall now welcome amongst us our expert speakers, Mr. Rakesh Agarwal and Mr. Kapil Vyasa with an Kapil Tyagi sir with an e-bouquet. Welcome to the webinar, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ritika.
Ritesh is a global leader in the communications industry with over 25 years of experience at Hughes, Ericsson, and Capgemini. Same company, but different names. He has built numerous trusted CX level relationships across clients and vendors. In his last role, he was the geography head for entire Asia Pacific for the licensed business at the rate Capgemini. He was instrumental in bringing phenomenal 5G growth in the region and supporting around 100 plus OEMs in building best of breed 5G products across Japan, Korea, China, Taiwan, India, and Southeast Asia. Prior to that, Ritesh has done various roles including R&D, product management, strategy, and business development. He is a thought leader and represented his organization as a speaker in several industry events and conferences. He is a motivational speaker and an inspiration to his team. Ritesh has a BTech in computer science and an MBA in international business. We welcome you to this session, sir. Along with Ritesh, sir, we also welcome Mr. Kapil Tyagi, sir, Vice President Engineering Tech Forces Private Limited. Kapil is currently heading the conceptualization IP development team. He has earlier also worked as product owner at Redisys 5G and product line and has been the architect of Capgemini 5G NR CUSA stack and responsible for starting the SMO development from scratch to a mature stack. He carries with him a vast experience of working on various 5G protocols like RRC, F1AP, NGAP, XNAP, E1AP, X2AP, and the list goes on and on. He is a pioneer with experience of development in 4G and 5G areas since 2010. We are also honored to have you amongst us, sir. I would now request Ritesh sir and Kapil sir to kindly enlighten the house. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ritika. Thanks for the warm welcome. We are definitely, pleased to have today in front of, such a, wonderful audience. And we will be basically talking about private 5G use cases. So as we all know, 5G is already there in the public networks. But the real 5G, will happen only, once, it comes to the private networks, and we have some very, very interesting use cases. So today's session will talk about, couple of use cases that we think are, will really got to make a lot of difference in the way things are happening currently, and how, 5G, will enable these use cases. So Kapil will be taking us through an interesting session today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone, and it's my pleasure to be here for the discussion on private 5G use cases for various industries. So maybe I can share my screen now, and we can continue our discussion. So
Yeah, we can see it.
okay, thank you. So probably okay. So maybe a this is Tech Forces. So we are from Tech Forces, which company we started 1.5 year back. And so Ritesh, you would like to take up?
Yeah, sure, Kapil. So we'll start with brief introduction. I will not want to take a lot of time on this. We started this company 1.5 years back. So this company has been started in the field of 5G and 6G. So the company is formed by people who have vast experience of working on the mobile technologies, right from 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G. So our core areas of focus are 5G private networks. So we do have our 5G RAN and 5G core solutions for the private networks. These are very interesting and innovative solutions. So they have in different forms. They come into network in a box form or all in one kind of a box where you have the entire 5G network, including the RAN and core, running onto a single box. This box can be handheld, so you can carry the box and you can create an ad hoc network. It's as simple as that. And due to this fact, there are very interesting use cases because this box, can be, for example, taken to border areas, and our defense personnel can create ad hoc networks very quickly in areas which are not currently captured, by the public networks. Similarly, we have tons of interesting applications in the industry. This is our one offering. We also do centers of excellence. Here we set up the entire lab for industry as well as academia. We have already set up multiple labs in industry and academia, and in this we do end to end. So that means we bring in the entire components, all the nodes, and we integrate and show the particular use case, whether it is a smart city use case or an intelligent village use case or AIoT use case or 5G or 6G use case. And then third is our R&D offerings, where we have an AI platform wherein we do how AI can help optimize networks and optimize various parameters in within a 5G or or a 4G network. And we also do research on various 6G areas like terahertz, RIS, as well as intelligence services. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ritesh. So maybe we can just quickly move to the today's agenda. So today I am discussing majorly on the 5G. We all know it's here for quite some time now. And so for the communication point of view, we all have 5G network now, and our operators are providing 5G SIMs and networks for quite some time now. So now it's time to discuss about the topics of 5G and how we can use 5G for lot more industries and scenarios. So I would like to discuss today some very interesting use cases, and I'm keeping this discussion very informal and very generic in nature, so that we can understand where we can use 5G as a technology. So today I will touch base few important scenarios and use cases like mission critical communication and public safety and industrial IoT, and we will discuss some other things about private 5G and vertical industries as a whole. So I think that so we are quite aware of the 5G technology. So 5G is basically the latest wireless technology, and which is basically are designed to connect devices, machines, and lot many things. And also it offers basically a never seen before data speed, the latency, and increase reliability. And also the 5G is basically the vision of 5G is to basically have an impression of continuous connectivity all the time. So with that is the potential of 5G technology. So with the saturation of 5G or any communication technology for the communication purpose, so now the focus is moving towards the machines and other vertical industries. Because when we move focus to machines and other industries, so the potential of expanding the market to cover basically every consumable device and every imaginable thing. So the market is expand to a numerous level. So that is the potential of 5G, and we are going to discuss that today. So today, as I just mentioned, so today from private 5G vertical industry use cases. So today we will discuss mission critical industrial IoT, and I will present a exhaustive list of some interesting 5G use cases, and to explore further. And yeah. Okay. So I will move to directly move to the use cases of mission critical communication and public safety. So this is very important use case which touch our lives every day. So because police is here, lot many organizations are there. So those use these kind of communications. So before moving to or touching to the 5G uh, aspects for this use case, let me just describe the current technologies or the legacy technologies. Those are currently here in this domain. So the legacy technologies, the public protection is like police and all, and disaster relief agencies are like NDRF, SDRF, and other organizations in India. So majorly in these cases, currently we use Tetra and P25 and LMR technologies. These are very stable and good technologies currently working and already matured enough. But we have some limitations with these technologies, because we are currently living in a different domain where the connectivity is required a lot, and communication methods change a lot. Today, we need a video communication, we need voice communication, we need some very enhanced messaging techniques. So just a text message won't enough these days. We need images need to be transferred from one person to another. One NDRF team need to transfer image or voice or video to another team quickly, so to act on very quickly. So these are the some latest use cases or requirement of our first responders like police and NDRF. So we have some limitations now. For example, is the voice centric. The legacy technologies are voice centric, so which has very limited data capacity, and that is simply inadequate for the modern needs. Another is unified emergency response. So these are different technologies, different methods, different protocols, and interworking is not easily can do. And if you wanted to have a unified emergency response system in India, so that is a bottleneck with the legacy technologies. Similarly, we have interoperability issues because every a team and agency using might be using a different technologies, and the spectrum is also non-harmonized. So interworking and interoperability is a challenge with the legacy technologies. So, so, so when we have the idea of what we have currently and the what the legacy technologies are and what are their limitations. So let me move to 5G thing, and to start with, I would like to give a very interesting deployment view that is about Mahakumbh. So Mahakumbh is, we all know that a very large and huge event is going on in India currently, and managing that much crowd and people and to respond to their requirements, everything is a challenge to the authorities. So we know that there is some fire as well in some areas, but that is quickly contained because our first responders are very active, and the communication between them and the coordination between them is excellent. So these things are happening because of the deployment of 5G, private 5G, 4G in Mahakumbh. So this is the excellent use case of public safety. So where our agencies are coordinating among themselves with a very good use case using a private 5G, where if I just explain a bit, so we have here the 4G or 5G technologies. They have, we have some legacy technologies also here. We have basically all sort of speakers. We have all sort of fibers and Wi-Fi things. We have surveillance. We have for surveillance we have camera feeds and all, and we have IoT devices where to control and give a accurate information. Lots of IoT devices are installed, and so all these things are communicating and interacting each other, where the private 5G is the backbone, and everything is managed using this system, and we call it a mission critical kind of things here. So if I just explain in a brief, so we have here 5G radios installed, and there are people where we have a phone which has a M6 application. M6, I mean a application which helps in controlling things. We have connection to the cameras, drones, or IoT devices, legacy devices. We have all the private 5G core network, IMS for voice call is there, data center is here, and all those things are connected. So a private, so a another deployment view is like this, where these phones have some interesting application looks like this, where you can broadcast your voice immediately in a single click to the whole team. We can have a group call, we can have group video call, we can broadcast data, group data, private voice call we can do, private video call we can do. So with this kind of application, which is running on a simple 5G phone, and these kind of phones are available with police, NDRF, and all first responders. So the management and the communication between them is very easy, and all can communicate in real time. So this is the basically a very important example of private 5G, where it is used in public safety use case by our first responders. So if I move to our next use case, so the mission critical communication. So as you see, for the for the public safety, the important part is the interworking between all agencies, and the real-time communication is very important. So now we move to a mission critical communication, where I presented here a very interesting use case of a metro. So, for example, currently the managing of a metro backbone is with the legacy technologies, and now we are going to augment that legacy technologies with the 5G. So this is a very a typical example of a 5G deployment in a metro. So where a metro, a single rolling stone, has a train radio and which has a 5G connection. And for the redundancy purpose, we have two, and all this is connected, and the connection between these is happens the inline, and all the devices inside this, like a display and audio, all these are connected. So we have a like a deployment here of private 5G, and also a connection with the public 5G, because we know that the public 5G is also available, but a public network might not be available for all the scenarios. So all internal communication happens over a private 5G, but as a alternate option for some devices, public 5G can also be used. So every station is connected with these private 5G base stations, and so all the internal devices, like all the displays, all the infotainment systems, all the public announcement systems, and all things are connected using 5G, and all those things are connected interworking. So this. So all these private 5Gs are connected to a core network and a mission critical servers, and all this further connected to the legacy system. So in this deployment view, we can see that the existing system, the legacy system, is also running in parallel to the private 5G, and the over the period of time, the performance and the nitty-gritties and the technology maturity will be done for the 5G. So, so this way, this is a very important scenario for private 5G. So many things happens. So this is something like if I give example. So so deployment are done in China for Guangzhou metro, and also a Shandong metro is happens with the 5G. So in Tokyo, Japan, Tokyo, Yamanote line has basically a good use case of private 5G. And also in London, Crossrail is a very good example of private 5G, where the network is based on 5G. Also, in France is a good example, where the Nokia is deploying a private 5G network for the Grand Paris Express metro line to provide a high-speed connectivity for both operations, for the metro operations, and also for the passengers. So in UK, we have some trials going on for metro and rail with private 5G. In India, Bangalore Metro is good example, which is installing basically 5G small cells, and from the start. And also the Mumbai Metro is using 5G for improving passengers experience and increase efficiency, safety, so all those kind of things. So so India is not behind basically in terms of testing the latest 5G technology. Some more things, some more metros. If I would say, in Indore Metro is also exploring the private 5G as an alternative to the existing technologies to implement and test. So this is the deployment view and some examples of private 5G in metro and railway communication. So okay, so if I move to next, in very brief, I would like to give example how private 5G is going to work with from the network elements point of view. One thing is like, so we all have a phone. So this phone will have a mission critical client. So one client is there which provides all kind of functionalities like group call, group video call, all these kind of things. This one can connect with public network like Jio, Vodafone, Airtel, and the private network, which is privately implemented by the agency. So it has a core network, it has a mission critical server and edge server. So all those kind of things connected in the backend. And there is a dispatcher, we call it, which control all kind of operators, and operators have access to this, and operators can basically control all those kind of things. So lot many features are there. So I'm not going into it as of today, but so this is the example or a network, we can say, which helps in creating a true mission critical environment. Yes. So this is also very interesting that legacy technologies are here, and so they are still here from redundancy and other point of views. So important thing is we should connect latest technology with the legacy. So and 5G is perfect example of that. And with the 5G we can connect to our legacy devices as well using these methods. So this is also true. So we can say the 5G or private 5G kind of scenarios is can be implemented in industries and where the legacy things are also implemented. Okay, so this is from the a holistic view of from technology point of view, like all the features and technologies used for the mission critical thing. Here, if I would like to say is the 5G has some base features and technologies. Those are available and required for the communication. So I call them a basic or default functionality of 5G, which is for the again for the mobile, for the RAN and core are available. But when I say it is used for the industry, so on top of the existing and default features, some additional things are also required to ensure that these use cases can be realized fully. So I listed all those kind of features, but maybe today I will not go through them in detail. Okay. Okay. So this is another very important use case, which is currently in demand, that is industrial IoT. So we all aware that the today's gigafactories are here, and controlling a gigafactory and a very large warehouse. If we have all seen very large warehouses, like for example Amazon, and today's we are having a delivery in 10 minutes, right? So these things can happen with a hell lot of automation already in place. So these things can happen because of automation at best. So, considering a factory and warehouse kind of scenarios, I listed some very interesting all kind of use cases. So let me just go through them in quickly. So, for example, a very large factory, and it has multiple. We have to cover and install a private 5G in that factory. So we have to do basically multiple base stations we need to install. Another thing is we have Wi-Fi sensors, we have Bluetooth sensors, we have LoRa sensors already working in a factory, for example. So what we have to do to connect all these devices to a single communication backbone? Because if all are not interconnected, then we cannot realize the true potential of automation. So we have to install a devices, those convert basically a 5G to the to the Wi-Fi converter, to the BLE converter, to the LoRa gateways. We call them gateways, so that we can, and similarly we have Ethernet. So we need to install these kind of gateways to communicate or connect with the legacy devices. Another use cases are robots. In factory, we seen lots of robots these days. If we see, for example, Amazon or Flipkart, so they use lots of robots in their warehouses. So robots are also there. VR and XR is quite required in manufacturing, like for example, automobile factories. So XRs are quite useful in that kind of industries. We have many connections for the visuals connectivity. On top of that, we have very legacy technologies, like basic sensors and actuators are there. So if you see here, we have a full spectrum of communication which is available can be available in a factory environment, and connecting all these things with a single communication backbone is a challenge, and private 5G is can be used in these cases. So we have gateways to connect these things, and we have another converters to basically connect with sensors and actuators. We have we can use Profinet, basically that is industrial grade Ethernet network, and we can have the industry specific applications which is running on a mobile phone, so that the operators, supervisors, managers can basically see in real time what is happening in a factory or in some specific areas. So what is happening? So these kind of things can be done using these kind of applications developed on top of 5G and can interconnect with it. And later on, we can basically blend the 5G with AI/ML kind of things, because lots of data is going to be collected from a factory. So this data, if available in a single place via a single communication backbone to and fro, so we can do a many machine learning things, and we can basically see the optimization point of views. We can see the real-time information. So all those things are possible now with the implementation of private 5G here. So this is one of the example. And if I give some examples, like so there is a example recently that Nestle. So Nestle has a factory in Capapawa where they connected, implemented private 5G, and their all machines and all those are connected to 5G, and they have a single communication mechanism and a dashboard where they can see and control the factory. Similarly, another example is like a Vodafone in Germany. So what they did is there is a German greenhouse, a large, you can say a farm, effectively. So something like 11,000 square meters kind of things, where lots of robots are there, CCTVs are there, and other sensors to do water management and all kind of things. So all this is automated using private 5G. So this will bring them lots of optimizations and the control to manage the full that greenhouse. Also, some examples like there is a home appliance maker, Media, that basically from China, effectively. So the whole production line is moved to or connected with the private 5G. So everything, the data, everything they are analyzing in real time, and optimizations out of it can be done very quickly. So coming to India, if I would like to say, so in India, so BSNL and with some partners, basically installing a private 5G network at Amrohi, I think, mines in MP. So the similar things are there because the legacy sensors are there, the communication mechanisms are there, and the private 5G. So here I just captured a whole spectrum, but in use case to use case basis, some are there and some are not, may not be there. Because if we consider a case like coal mine, so many sensors are there. Robots might not be there, but lots of gas sensors and so many sensors are there definitely in a coal mine. So all those things are going to be connected via private 5G. So these are the some very interesting use cases and also useful from the optimization point of view. And important thing is real-time information can be provided. So the quick actions can be taken in case of any emergencies. So moving to next. Okay. So again, I listed here the technology views, basically, which is essential or useful to realize the full potential of industrial IoT, because industrial IoT requires a lot many things. So if I just explain, the sensors may not be requires very time sensitive and has very low data to send to the network. Also, whereas the robot, which requires a real time data or real time instructions. So we require a time sensitive network here to control the robots and all. And again, if we have a XR system in place, so we know the data is quite high in these kind of use cases. So the spectrum is quite full, from low data rate, delay tolerant, to high data rate and no delay tolerant.
Kapil, I think slide is not moving. Can you maybe share again?
Oh,
Is
now
it
it is
okay?
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, now
Yes.
it's okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now it is okay.
Okay. So this is the full technology view where what kind of features and things are required to realize the industrial IoT kind of use cases. Okay, so moving next is just a view of what are the private 5G targeted industries. It's like from manufacturing to energy and utilities, healthcare, retail, transportations, and oil and gas. So there are and many others. So this is a basically overview and their share how and where private 5G can be useful. Okay, so quickly I will touch base some Indian government initiatives for the private 5G. So there is a 5G intelligent village proposal which is floated by DOT to see how we can make our villages intelligent, and also BSNL 5G trials for private 5G and by the private 5G players in India. So these are the some initiatives by Indian government. And apart from this, if I would like to give some more insight, the coal mines example in from MP I just mentioned, and also the few industries like NTPC is also working on the private 5G kind of deployments. Mathura oil refining is also see or in very early phases, or Oil India. These are very early stages to evaluating this technology with the help of BSNL for the private 5G kind of use cases. So these are the some insight about the private 5G kind of scenarios in India. Okay, so another thing is moving to next is there are some challenges as well when it comes to private 5G in India. So challenges are like I would like to say important thing is spectrum availability issues. So currently in India, so spectrum is available only via BSNL for these private 5G use cases, and also the public operators like Vodafone, Jio, and Airtel, they can also do, but anyways, they will give us notes by the small operators. So the BSNL is available to give this spectrum, but that is currently at very high cost. Whereas if I would like to quote that in USA, there is CBRS band, so which is available free for the private 5G deployment, and that is band 48, and all private operators can basically utilize that band for the private 5G use cases. Also, there are some dedicated spectrum available in some countries like China, Japan, and Korea, Germany. So these countries have a very good dedicated spectrum available of either with a low cost or freely available for the private 5G deployment. So when we have that kind of environment, so the private or the many startups and people can basically, because of low initial cost, can basically move to implement and see the private 5G kind of use cases. Another is technology maturity. As I just mentioned, for every kind of use cases, there are different set of features, kind of things required to realize the full potential. So, but by default, so the 5G and RAN and core, those features are basically available as per the communication industry needs, but not for the private 5G kind of or specific use case specific. So that also we need to work. And also, again, the deployment cost, as I just mentioned, in India, because spectrum is not easily available, we have to basically get it from BSNL. So high cost is there for the initial deployment, and also for the maintenance also, BSNL will require some fee for a month or so. So the cost is high. So because of that, I think only some PSUs are also currently exploring the private 5G use cases. But things are working on. But when the spectrum things will be freeze, so that will be a boom for the private 5G deployments in India. Okay, so moving to next, we have a few some time available. So let me just quickly finish. Okay, so I have mentioned that some other interesting use cases of 5G. So I just captured the two very important where the deployments, actual deployments are already happened or in progress. But other use cases like a direct to cell using satellite communication. So this is a 5G NTN technology. And we already heard the news that Starlink, which is using 5G NTN and other IoT technologies like ATM1 and others for its D2C, direct to cell technology service. And this service is expected this year. So very soon we will see a 5G NTN use case using satellite. So this is the about the direct to cell use case. Another important use case is direct to mobile. So this is the broadcasting technology. So so it means that technology sends multimedia content to many users at once. So we call it a broadcasting technology. So so this I am talking about from the Indian context only, so that it will be good for us to understand. So government is basically planning content delivery direct to mobile phone effectively without internet also. So government actually planning to reserve spectrum for the D2M technology. And but currently Indian government is basically utilizing this technology which is developed by IIT Kanpur and Sankhya Lab, and but that is based on ATSC 3.0 technology. For the 5G MBMS, multimedia broadcast multicast service is already also available as an which is an alternative to the D2M technology, same D2M technology, but a alternative to ATSC 3.0. So trials are already ongoing in India for D2M technology, and some trials are already done in IIT Kanpur and other places. Now government is moving with trials to other cities, and based on that, government may plan multiple things with this technology. Moving, there are some other more use cases, but I will basically just list them, and maybe we can explore, and if anything is needed, we can also discuss offline. So So this is all from my side today, and today I try to cover the 5G the industry use cases from a broader point of view. And if anything in detail anybody wanted to discuss, you can directly touch base with me via email or LinkedIn or any medium. So I'm happy to answer your queries, technical related, and also if we have some queries now, I'm open.
Thank you,
Also,
Kapil sir. Thank you for the enlightening deliberation. I'm sure this insightful session has enlightened the participants about the real scenario. And yes, there are many questions by the participant, which I'll like to now take up with your permission.
sure, ma'am. Please.
So first question, how much of the Mahakumbh deployment is actually implemented, or it is more of a theoretical proposition?
No, that's not a theoretical proposition. It is actually happening, and because I'm informing you that one of our partners is actually partner company is basically doing that, and actual deployments are happen. We are discussing real-time use cases with our which is currently happening in the Mahakumbh. One of the examples, if I would like to say, is there are two kind of deployments. Like so, the so we have some machine-to-machine communication are also implemented by BSNL, which is already available, M2M, and the private 5G. So we have we call them CNPN network. So we are handling, because you have, when you have a dual sync, multiple things are happening. When you are in some network, you are in some network. So we are seeing those kind of scenarios happening, and so team is doing that, and basically Indian companies are handling this very well. I would like to say this Mahakumbh scenario. And I would like to say that this will be going to be a benchmark for Indian industries for the private 5G deployment.
Absolutely, sir. Very rightly said. So next question we have, large number of towers and infrastructure is needed for 5G. So how is it managed in a geographically diverse nation like India?
Okay. So I hope that question is from public network perspective, not from the private network perspective. So yes, that is true that a country like India deploying a nationwide network of wireless technology is not a easy job. And because we call it a territorial network and non-territorial network. So deploying a network in a country like India is a huge task from the network planning, because so network planning to a actual deployment, and to manage it. So it is a definitely a big task, not be done in a day or two, or a 1 year or two. So if you remember that it took India to basically deploy 5G from the licensing, auctioning to actual deployment happens. It took around 1.5 years to or so to basically do that. And to manage it is also quite difficult. India also already divide India into multiple circles, and operators manage it from the circles point of view. And again, yes, it is a difficult job, vast, and I would like to say basically India has network in Siachen and those kind of regions as well. So that is going to be that will be a very difficult job, but yes, India is doing that.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much for the information. Another question we have, with 5G and 6G, we are slowly moving towards terahertz communication. So, how will bandwidth sharing be handled in this scenario?
True. So terahertz is a very hot topic for the 6G, and currently the worldwide lot much research is going on with the terahertz, and India is also doing that. Lot many organizations doing that, and terahertz bandwidth sharing is definitely a important topic, or I would like to say bandwidth sharing or a network sharing is a important topic in 5G as well. So that is basically agnostic about whether terahertz or any other bandwidth. So currently also, for example, if there is one network is there, and uh, not much from one operator has one small footprint there, and another operator has huge, so wastage of bandwidth is there. So how we can utilize that, how we can share the network. So these are a very important topics today also, and with the kind of 6G topics I'm going through these days, the network sharing is the basically the right word for this. The network sharing is going to be the key innovation thing for the 6G, and that will have a very good baseline features for the 6G.
Absolutely, sir. Very rightly said. So, thank you, sir. With this, we come to an end to this wonderful session. Thank you for the wonderful, enlightening deliberation and cases that you have told us. It is wonderful to see how well India is doing in this particular domain of 5G. I would now request Professor Huda, sir, to kindly present a certificate and memento to Ritesh, sir, and Kapil sir as a token of remembrance for this wonderful session today.
Thank you so much for Thank you so much for a wonderful session. If you go through the chat window, there are many applauds coming. Excellent, very informative session. And this topic will need to be deliberated in future as well, because evolving and many new use cases may come up. And these certificates and mementos are not for the purpose of certification, only for the purpose of remembrance that you have been part of this lovely and fantastic webinar, which inspired many of us. Thank you so much, Mr. Ritesh and Mr. Kapil.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
We also have a small e-memento. I'll request Huda sir to present the same to our experts.
And again, the memento is for the purpose of remembrance, Mr. Kapil
Thank
and then
you,
Mr.
sir.
Ritesh.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you.
So we have switched to all digital environment. Talk is online,
Absolutely required, sir.
bouquet is online, and then memento is online. For online bouquet, one of my very informal friends said that once it is not in physical mode, what is the need of giving online bouquet? So I have written 2 couplets on that. Yeah, Mr. Ritesh, your memento. And the couplets are, बड़ी मुश्किल में हूँ कैसे इजहार करूँ, बड़ी मुश्किल में हूँ कैसे इजहार करूँ, तू तो खुशबू है कैसे गिरफ्तार करूँ. The purpose of
Rightly
giving
said.
the purpose of giving bouquet is to welcome. विचारों की खुशबू से वेलकम करना है. तो विचारों की खुशबू के लिए वो फूल हमारे हाथों में होना जरूरी नहीं है। उस फूल की खुशबू जिसके लिए कोई बाउंड्री लिमिटेशन नहीं है, कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है, वो कहीं भी महसूस की जा सकती है।
खाली नहीं है उसमें कोई।
तो वो फूलों की खुशबू जो विचारों की खुशबू है वो महसूस करें। और हमने कहा हम टेक्नोलॉजी के लोग IEEE के प्लेटफॉर्म पे अगर सस्टेनेबिलिटी ना सिखाए तो और कौन सिखाए। तो आप इमेजिन करें कि राइट फ्रॉम बुके, then your certificate and then memento, everything is online, not only the talk, and all the participants will get certificate online. They need to fill up a Google form just for a feedback, and once they submit it, the Google API is configured. That API will fetch data from the feedback certificate from that Excel sheet, will fetch his name, his organization, and rest is written in the certificate. It's a pre-signed. Will create a certificate, will write it PDF, will attach as a PDF document in one of the mail which he will be writing in the Google form, and will send him mail. My team has to only look after that if because of the bulk mailing system it has gone into the spam and the concerned participant is telling that I have not received, so he has to tell his name and email ID. And because mandatory, if he has submitted feedback form, his certificate has been generated, so it is saved in some Google Drive, where from it has fetched and sent him an email which might have gone to a spam. So my team member will send him that link of the Google Drive that your certificate is here. If you are not finding in a spam, download it from there. That's all we have to facilitate. And I can see today again, once again, Mr. R.K. Singh, Mr. Professor H.S. Bhatia from Bangalore, and of course my former chairperson of IEEE Delhi section, Professor Subramaniam Krishnamurthy, and many other friends who are part of not panelists. They have joined as an attendee. So thank you so much. Keep attending our webinar. These all informative webinars are only for the purpose to keep you engaged in knowledge and learning sessions. This is for that purpose, and we should keep on doing that to make all of us aware of what is happening in the industry, what is happening on the technology front. And today session once again by Mr. Ritesh and by Mr. Kapil has been fantastic, full of information. Thank you so much. Experts are free to log out, but dear participants, this meeting room is converted into a facilitation center where my team member, Dr. Ritika, will be looking after that. If you have any problem in getting certificate, you may write your name and email ID in the chat window. She will look after the problem and will write you back the Google Drive link so that you can download it from there. Please note that fill up a working email ID, because if there is any mistake in the email ID or a spell mistake, etc., we have no mechanism to create your certificate manually. Then you need to consider this session as a knowledge sharing session for your purpose. And once you get certificate, then acknowledge it here in the chat window, and then you can leave. Thank you so much. Over to you, Dr. Ritika.
Thank you, sir. And thank you so much, Ritesh sir and Kapil sir, for the wonderful session today. It was a wonderful session. Thank you so much. Dear participants, the feedback form link for this particular session certificate generation has already been shared in the chat window. Over 100 certificates have already been successfully generated. I hope the other participants who are still left with us have already submitted the feedback form and are only waiting to receive their certificate of participation. Dear participants, our next webinars for the month of Feb and March are already posted online on our website bvicam.in/webinars. Please register yourself for the next webinars and be part